Hey, what's up, YouTube boxing family? It is K-Rod here. I wanted to make this video to make a criticism towards Jessica McCaskill. And I guess, like my early fight prediction on her and Alma Ibarra, that's her name. She was the Mexican lady that had defeated Marciela Cornejo. But yeah, I just wanted to say welcome back to another video of this channel. And for this video, I will be talking about Jessica McCaskill's how should I say, her legacy decision making of why hasn't she moved up to 154 and left 147. And I think honestly this is a very, very interesting topic. I figured that I make this video because Jessica McCaskill, she's a heavily talented fighter, but I think the biggest issue with her is that she obviously knows her place of where things could have been in multiple routes of what she should have taken. But it seems like she's very, very comfortable with how Matchroom and Eddie Hearn with DAZN is treating her, knowing that she's just kind of being like another Katie Taylor at 147, where she's not expanding her skill set to try to go up to more divisions and try to go for more belts. And I mean, for those of you that don't know, Jessica McCaskill, she's the current reigning, defending, undisputed female welterweight champion. She doesn't really have too much of a good resume. I mean, Jessica McCaskill, from what I know, I believe she's like 10-1 if I'm not mistaken. So she has like a decent resume, and I mean, I do credit her for being a 2-division world champion if I'm not mistaken. She won belts at 140. Yep, she won belts at 140. To which she was first. She was defeated twice in her career. One to Katonia Fisher, a woman that really never expanded her career any further after she had beat Jessica McCaskill. That was on a split decision victory. And then the other fight was obviously Katie Taylor, in which Katie Taylor, she was definitely extremely tested in that fight. And many would say that if that was a 3-minute fight, Katie was on the verge of getting stopped throughout that fight, in which Jessica, she did a very good job pounding Katie to the body, but she should have been more active to the body and try not to headhunt too much. She had some minor success on Katie, but Katie just eventually outboxed her. So not really too much of a good victory for Katie Taylor over Jessica, but Jessica came to do what she wanted to do, and she definitely had some success over Katie. But Katie, she unfortunately beat her, and that was a good fight. She was obviously undefeated at that time frame, but quote unquote, Katie is still undefeated, knowing that she had that controversial split decision over Amanda Serrano, which I personally thought Katie arguably lost that fight, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, Jessica's career has been very interesting. She fought ladies like the likes of Natalie Brown, in which I used to like her at one point in time. She had defeated Jessica Camara back in the past, where she knocked her out, back in 2018 as of June. But she hasn't been in the ring ever since, and she's been very quiet. But that's a good, solid victory. She beat ladies like Erica Farias, who had recently defeated Sandy Ryan, if I'm not mistaken. That was a split decision victory, which I didn't even see that being a split decision, but she did a good job, immobilizing her skills and just making the fight her fight. And she obviously had two back-to-back losses to Jessica McCaskill, in which those are very good epic fights. And I thought Jessica, she did what she had to do to dominate her. I think the good thing about Jessica was that she did go back to back with Erica Farias, and she also defeated Anais Sanchez, who is also a tremendous fighter out of Argentina. She hasn't fought ever since 2020, but it's kind of sad because it's like she's had very good stellar performances over certain ladies. She was obviously, a world champion back in I believe 2017, and then I do know that she did beat Dahiana Santana. That was that Dominican chick that had lost to Amanda Serrano, back in the past. So yeah, she beat her to win the, or actually no, she had defeated her to win the interim WBA of a featherweight title to become the mandatory, and then she had then beat Anna Maria Lozano. She TKO'd her in 3 rounds after she had decision Santana back in 2015, leading into her next fight with Anna Maria Lozano. And then after that, she had won the IBF against Areti Mastro Duca, some undefeated lady that I haven't heard of. She was from Greece, I think, but yeah, she knocked her out, and she won her first world title within I think 10 to 15 fights or something. But yeah, she did a pretty good job. She won her first belt at 130, and then after that she defended it against Tamara Marianela Nunez, and then she suddenly lost it, and then I guess she challenged for another world title against Eva Wallstrom, in which Eva decisioned her. So she lost that fight, and then after that she had another fight which was a stay busy fight back in 2017. That was a quick, easy TKO victory, and then leading forward to her biggest fight with Maiva Hamadou, she got knocked out in 4 rounds, and Sanchez, she definitely got taken down pretty quick. But then after that, she had 2 back-to-back victories, to which she had reclaimed another world championship, which was for the vacant WBA female lightweight title. So she became a 2-division world champion. She did her thing, and then sadly, she had faced Katie Taylor, in which she had missed weight, so she got stripped of her title, and Katie had won that for the WBA. So yeah, basically she had lost that fight. Katie dropped her, and then moving forward, she had 2 back-to-back victories, to which out of those 2 victories, she had won the WBA interim super lightweight title. And then moving forward with that, that's where she had her back-to-back losses with Jessica McCaskill, who was unified at the time, and then she lost to her. And then same thing with Chantel Cameron, who then later became a champion somewhere down the road too. So that was very interesting. And then ever since then, she's been inactive ever since. She's had a very, very good resume, and I mean, I will credit her. She's only been stopped once, and she has been down a couple times, but she's a very, very extremely talented lady, and I definitely have to give credit where credit is due. Jessica has fought some very, very highly talented female fighters. Obviously, not the best of the best, but she definitely did her thing. I would say her, like, obviously her biggest victory is the Cecilia Brækhus victory, in which Cecilia Brækhus, she was arguably like, what the Vladimir Klitschko female version of boxing, where she was undisputed for like shit, I forgot how many years, but she's been undisputed literally like from 2009 heading all the way up until like, yeah, pretty much, yeah, from 2009 all the way to 2020. So she's been undisputed for like I forgot how many years, 11 years, yeah. So yeah, Cecilia Brækhus, she's done some very, very good things in boxing, but when you do take a look at her resume, she's really not that great. And I mean, honestly, like, yeah, good, like, you beat like some good ladies, but arguably, like, she's really not that good. Like, you beat Chevelle Hallback, in which Chevelle Hallback was not in her prime back then. So she was basically beating up on ladies that were not even on her level. But it's like, you can easily see that she was never really like at that level of like being super duper great. Oh wait, hold on, correction. She was undisputed in hold on, WBA, WBO. So where's the IBF? Hold on, IBF, where are you? Hello? Wait, like, who did she... Okay. So she became undisputed since 2014. I'm sorry. Yeah, she had unified the title with Ivana Habazin. So that was when she had the IBF, and then that's where undisputed lasted for about 6 years leading into 2020. So I mean, very, like, very, very good. She's been defending her belts for a very, very long time. But just by looking at the level of competition, her biggest wins, I would say, is the Alexandria Castillo, in which whom she was a very, very good fighter back then, and she still is now. I want to say she's currently campaigning at the heavyweight division, which is like I don't even know like what the weight limit is, but I would assume that's like 175. But as of recently, she's not as she's not as physically built and shape as she once was, and she's like she had recently came in at like 231 against another big lady that was from the Dominican Republic, Mary Cava Rancier, and she had beat her in a unanimous decision. So yeah, like, I want to say she's just sitting there at the heavyweight division doing nothing, because there's really nobody here, and yeah, the heavyweight division's pretty boring for the females. But either way, there's really nothing going on for those divisions. But I will say that is Jessica's biggest victory to date, and I definitely will give her credit for that. But the biggest problem that I have is that now that you had defeated Cecilia Brækhus for her titles and became undisputed in the 147-pound division for the female side, my question is that why isn't she planning to move up? Because there's really nothing going on at 147, and I think the only reason why she's staying at 147 is because she's comfortable where she's at, fighting weaker competition, and there's really not that many names on here that I could say that that I can say that will put on like a really, really good tough performance against Jessica and potentially beat her. And see, now Alma Ibarra, she's a good fighter, but I don't really rate her too high. She did get a quote unquote TKO stoppage over Laura Cubos Ramos, but I'm not really sold on those, performances down in Mexico, especially against a girl that was 4-3-0. So I mean, she fought a lady that wasn't even at a high level, but leading to that fight before then, she had defeated Marciela Cornejo, which is a decent victory, but Marciela Cornejo, to my understanding, she was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door. So I'm not I'm not really too, how should I say, I'm not too sold on the purpose that, yeah, you beat a woman that hasn't won a world title at all, but she has fought some high level competition, and she definitely had done her thing, back in the day to get up there. But it's just that, she's always came short in these very tough close fights with women that she had fought back in the past. But I will say that is a credible victory because Marciela Carnejo, even though people would view her as like a journeyman or a gatekeeper, she definitely is a good litmus test on where your skill levels are based off of how good you are. And the performance that Alma did towards her was a very, very good fight. She did what she had to do, but I will say, like, based off of her resume altogether, it's really not that strong. Obviously, I don't use resumes to determine how good of a fighter you are, but just by looking at the skill levels that are prepping you to become the best, I would say out of her 11 fights altogether, her only notable victories is just Marciela Cornejo and then Raquel Miller, who's been out the door for quite a long time in boxing, and she hasn't done anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been hearing a lot of these ladies in female boxing one day, and then but the next day, but they're just absolutely just dead garbage. They're not ever to be heard about. And honestly, it's just really sad because it's a lot of these women that we expect to come out of the blue to do their thing and actually put on a good career like performance for their legacy. It's just they're not doing that. And I mean, people people want to say women's boxing is delivering very well, to which a semi degree, yes it is, but to the most part, I would say women's boxing is dying very fast, because the only thing that keeps women's boxing alive is that the men keep talking about them. But it's you don't really hear that many girls talking about female boxing. It's mostly men. It's it's the small pool of guys that actually do care about the sport, and the people that enjoy talking about future matchups, for the men and women. That's what keeps women's boxing alive. But as far as Jessica's career goes, yeah, my biggest question is that why haven't you moved up? Why haven't you just get out of 147 and go ahead and fight anybody at 154? Because at 154, obviously, there's not that many names out there that I could think of. But I mean, for the people that want to know who's at 154, I'd say the only good names that Jessica could go for, she could go for a girl Natasha Jonas, take her out the way. Mary Eve DeCare, she can easily beat her. I think her toughest battles would be against Patricia Bergirl, to which I don't think Patricia's that good. She's good for what she can display, but based off of what she's been doing lately, I'm not really too satisfied with her. But she is quote unquote facing Cecilia Brækhus, which is very, very weird. I have no idea why she's wanting to finally move up to 154 after all these years of her just taking everybody out at 147. Now she wants to get back into boxing and just face a girl like Patricia. So, I mean, either way, like, it's good, that'll be interesting to watch, but I'm just not really too sold on that, honestly. At the end of the day, like, 154, like, obviously, like, for any bigger female weight divisions, especially from like 135 leading up to heavyweight, that's really where the divisions are just like just flat out dead. Obviously nobody doesn't give two craps about watching like the heavier female weight divisions, not to be disrespectful, but it's like that's obviously like the cold hard truth. And you can easily see that because not a lot of women campaign at these bigger weight divisions because not a lot of them want to take the risk of fighting at bigger weights where they could potentially face girls that are bigger than them. So I mean, either way, like, I'm just kind of like very how should I say, I'm just curious of like why Jessica's kind of going the same route as Cecilia Brækhus or Katie Taylor in that regard, where she doesn't want to move up. She just wants to stay in her own little bubble, and she doesn't want to like test herself to the higher level waters to see where she's at. So I mean, either way, like I like personally think I personally think that Jessica McCaskill, she definitely has some signs of duck language in her, where she doesn't want to put herself in tougher positions where she would have to end up facing like a woman like Clarissa Shields one day, to which I think back in the past her and Clarissa, they had beef over social media, and I think Clarissa had wanted to challenge her back in the day, but Jessica, she wasn't being hyper vocal on it, and Clarissa, she made her like obviously be quiet about her, because Clarissa, she like she's obviously like about that business when you do call her out or you do have any problems with her. So I just think honestly, like, just based off of like what the energy is shown from Jessica's movement of her career, it makes me feel like that she's not wanting to really expand her skill sets even higher of where she could potentially be in the future. So I think it's really stupid that she's doing that, where she's just gonna stay at 147 until somebody beats her or she just quits boxing and then that's it. Like, I just find that to be very scandalous, and I find that to be very stupid on her behalf, because she knows that she's beating up on women that aren't really that heavily skilled at the welterweight division. And not to say that the super welterweight division's gonna be any better, but at least like move up in weight, so that way you could you can like free up the division, and then you could just have like all the other girls fight it out, because she obviously has like one person that trains with her that's in her division. I think her name is Summer Lynn. But it's like, think about it. If Jessica McCaskill just comes out of her way and just out of nowhere just keeps defending her belts to the point where there's going to be some young hungry female lions out there that want to get a piece at her titles, and let's just say Summer Lynn could be that one person, but knowing that both of them train with each other, and they know they know how they operate in their fighting styles, one would think that when you have a person that knows how you fight in the ring, that's actually a very bad style matchup, because eventually that person's going to understand your tricks. They're going to understand everything out of the book from you. So therefore, that makes it easier for your opposition to understand what you are as a fighter. So I find that to be really poor mechanism and poor poor outside boxing IQ to like have women, you know, like in the same weight class as you, to be sparring you and actually train with you. Like, you know, I personally don't like that, and I think that's I think that's very dumb to do that. Even women like Amanda Serrano, like she doesn't spar women, she spars men because one, you know, the men aren't going to be fighting her, and two, the men will present a different type of fighting style in which Amanda, she's more accustomed to, you know, being more physically and mentally, like, you know, mentally prepared to be ready for those type of, you know, potential outcomes. But either way, like, I just find it really weird that Jessica would do that with like a young fighter like Summer, to which I think Summer, you know, she's gonna do some damage, but that's yet to be determined. Like, I don't really think too high off of female fighters, especially in the welterweight division. But for Summer Lin, you know, she has a decent ceiling, but that's yet to be determined. But as far as Jessica's decision making, I think she should just move up to 154. I would personally like to see her face Clarissa Shields if she's able to move up to that weight class at 160, if I'm not mistaken. And she should face Clarissa for, you know, title unification or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. And let me know how you think about Jessica McCaskill's, you know, decisions, and how do you see this fight playing out with her and Alma Ibarra. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace out and goodbye.